Blackburn Rovers hope to make the trip to the North East this coming midweek as they take on free-scoring Middlesbrough, that's right. But Blackburn Rovers, of course, do have something under the sleeves. They are a bit of a bogey team for the red-hot Middlesbrough. Can that bogey streak continue? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks. Blackburn's game and another match preview. Looking forward to Middlesbrough hosting Blackburn Rovers at the Riverside this coming midweek. That's right. Can Blackburn Rovers pull the wool over the eyes of Middlesbrough once again? That's right. As we look at it, we'll get into that in a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the members. You know who you are. And a big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. Your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers is right here under one roof. Middlesbrough have been scoring a whole load of goals. 15 goals in the last 3 games combined, including 6 this past weekend against Oxford United. Rovers, though, have had an extended break. Will that work in our favour? We'll take a look in a second. Of course, again, big shout out to the members, big shout out to patrons, and of course subscribe, smash the like. But let's get into this one and talk about it. It is Middlesbrough. It is Rovers. It's coming at you at the Riverside this coming Wednesday. I'm recording this on Tuesday morning to try and get myself back up to date, back up to speed with my beloved blue and white halves. That's right. Let's take a look at the match under the microscope. They've played 43 times, these two clubs, since 1995. And Rovers do have the upper hand. 17 wins compared to 11 wins for the Boro and 15 draws. However, look at that. The biggest win for these two clubs is that of Middlesbrough. 4-0 winners. In fact, they scored 36 goals compared to Rovers. 40 though for the opposition, working out around about 0.84 goals a game for Boro, 0.93 goals a game for Rovers. Middlesbrough though looking good right now, 3 wins on the bounce, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They're on 75% form and they're 5th with 27 points to the name. Rovers are in 9th, 42% form for them. They do come into this on the back of that win over Cardiff. Their last match, in fact, was on the road. Can that away form? Or can that away result trickle into some away form? Right now, of course, let's take a look at the recent rub of the green then over the last 6 matches. Both home and away, whether it's at the Riverside or at Ewood Park. As you can see, Rovers do have a good advantage, both at venues. Just 1 loss over the last 6 against Boro. That 1 loss was at Ewood. It was a 2-1 loss back in December 2022, with Middlesbrough coming out top with Marcus Frost, Riley McGree scoring. Hedges getting the 1 and only goal. Rovers were down to 10 men. Not only is it favouring Rovers, this fixture, but also red cards seem to be very, very common at this very game as well. One thing we don't have, and one thing proved to be a bit of an upper hand weapon, was the goals of Sam Gallagher. Look at that, over the last 6 matches, Gallagher scoring 4 in those last 6. So who's going to be the man to take over the reins from that? Meanwhile, if you want to look at it a little bit closer, then over at the Riverside, it gets even better for Rovers. This is where the good stuff ends, to be fair, with this preview. 6 games, 6 matches unbeaten at the Riverside, of course. And again, Sam Gallagher being a major thorn in that side, scoring 3 out of the last 6. But yeah, some cracking games in amongst it. And again, a lot of red cards dotted around in this fixture. Let's go then. Take a look at the blow it out a little bit at the last 10. And as you see, it does get a little bit, no, it doesn't get any better really for Boro over the last 10, both home and away. Again, just that 1 win. So yes, that bogey streak is there. Will it continue? I'd love to see it, but realistically, we are playing Middlesbrough probably at the wrong time. That is correct, because they're free scoring, scored 15 goals in the last 3 games, both home and away. Rovers, of course, not great form right now. We did pick up the win against Cardiff, which, of course, hopefully will give us a little bit of a spark, a little bit of belief in our wings. Of course, this is, of course, the overall matches of the last 104. Rovers winning 46 of them, Boro winning 31, and there's been 27 draws. We have scored more goals as well, 162 to their 130. What about the values then? And of course, break down it a little bit more detail then. Of course, Boro have, of course, a whopping £80.78 million of talent, or million euro of talent on the pitch, averaging around about 2.69 million per player. They've got a younger squad, 25.9, more national team players, more youth national team players, and more foreigners. Rovers, though, 50.15 million euro of talent, now 1.93 million on average, 26.9 as well. 5 national team players, 2 youth national team, and 9 foreigners. Let's take a look then at the coaches under the microscope. Both similar ages. 43-year-old Michael Carrick, been at the helm for a couple of years now, picking up a 1.69 points per match ratio as head coach. His record against Rovers is okay, 1-1 lost 1 and drawn, picking up 1.33 points per match. His record against Eustace, though, is pretty pretty flawless, yet to taste defeat. He's won one and he's drawn one against John Eustace. Now, speaking of Eustace, his record against Boro, whether it is at Birmingham or us or wherever else he's managed or coached, 0.33 points per match. He's only picked up one draw over those 3 matches. And again, same record against Carrick, lost one and a draw as well. Let's take a look at the squads then. This is the hosts here, Middlesbrough. The likelihood is Solomon Bryn may continue to be the goalkeeper of choice after a good display against Oxford. Sunny Dang is on the injured list, but on his way back. Then you look at the likes of the defenders. They've got a lot of injuries knocking around, but it did not or has not really stopped them in regards to how they're performing. No, Darragh Lenihan for a bit. Edmondson and Clark have been at the back there. There might have been another option as well. Luke Ayling, of course, the veteran at right back, could be an option for Yukio Hashi to cause some problems as well. Moving into midfield, we've got the likes of Hayden Hackney. I think he's also been out. But Barcelona in there, Johnny Howson, Finn Aziz, creative option as well. Marcus Foster on the books, it looks like. And then up top, we've got the likes of Lati Lath, who is a phenomenal goal scorer at this level. Conway's also chipping in with goals. And a cheat code in Ben Doak. That's right. And this is my lineup for the Boro. We've got Bryn between the sticks. We've got Borges at left back. We've got Edmondson, Clark, and Ayling. Maybe it's a chance. I think it's a good age for those centre-back pairing. Ayling might be a bit of a... he might be getting on a little bit, but can Rovers take advantage of that? Barson Balais are in the middle there, Howson alongside him, and Doak, Azaz and Bergsog have been the ones pushing forward, and Latilaf, again, scoring for fun, and again, likely to be in the mix for Championship goal scorer at the end of the season. What about Rovers then? Again, mainly aimed at the Riverside, or the Middlesbrough fans here. We got Blasif Toff still waiting in the wings. He actually picked up an injury over the international break, so we don't know what goes on with him, and maybe he doesn't even feature on the bench. Pears, of course, will deputise or remain in between the sticks there. Defensive problems again for Rovers. Dom Hyam will probably start. Owen Beck on the left-hand side. Britton on the right, maybe. And then who, of course, will feature alongside Hyam? Is Carter back? Will it be McFadden? But it's likely to be Danny Bath. Into midfield, of course, the likely duo of Tronstad and Travis will remain. And then it is a coin flip, or a lucky dip, really, for the rest of the trio in the supporting roles there. Cantwell will probably start, but Lewis Baker gave himself a good argument, as did Andreas Wyman for the performances last time against Cardiff with goals there. Dolan's back, Hedges as well. I think Sigerson also picked up an injury. Up top it will be Yukio Hashi, I believe, but Magda Gay and Amario could also be in the mixer as well. This is my lineup. As you see it, is pairs between the sticks. Beck, Britton, Bath, Hyam make up the back four. Tronstad, Travis, Hedges, Wyman, Cantwell, Ohashi. I think it's going to be hard to argue that this team changes from the performance against Cardiff, who ain't no slouches at their places. You probably could argue that Baker gets in here somehow with the goal. Dolan as well arguing to get in amongst it as well. Let's take a look then at the key players. It is Ben Doak, who is a loanee from Liverpool. Of course, a very, very good player, starting for Scotland now. And of course, the sky is the limit for him. And hopefully Scotland have got themselves a bit of a weapon, because he's been pretty phenomenal thus far. Tyree Stolen for Rovers. Again, it is getting to that scratchy bum sign where his contract will be up for grabs in January, and it doesn't look like any signing is coming. So it looks like a Junior Hoylip 2.0 coming at you from Tyree Stolen. What else do we have then, of course, between these clubs there? Let's take a look at the average ratings. Finn Aziz has been a phenomenal player for Boro this campaign, 7.59, streets ahead other than anyone else. Luke Ayling, I did point him out as a potential a weakness, but look at him, he's flying high there, but 7.29, still got it at this level. Riley McCree as well, Aidan Morris, Ben Doak, chipping in with some great performances. Look at all these sevens and above here, all the way down to number 9 in Arnie Steele. Tommy Conway just outside with a 6.99. Rovers' best player has been Ainsley Pears, as he has been definitely most improved. Todd Canwell starting to deliver the performances in midfield as well. Travis and Tronstad hardworking as expected. A lot of 6.8, 6.9s there, but we do need to up the ante a little bit if we're going to be serious about this top 10 business. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the averages For Boro, 7.03 on average for the players. They played 16 games, scoring 29 goals, conceding 19, which is more than Rovers, and averaging around about 1.8 goals per match. They've got had 4 penalties thus far, scoring 3 of them, and hit the woodwork 4 times as well. Counter-attacks, 20 of them. Goals spread around the place. A lot of them coming from right footers. As for Rovers, 15 games played, watched 1 game less. Of course, that postponement against Portsmouth still ringing in the ears. 19 goals scored from Rovers, 17 conceded, averaging 1.3 goals a game. No penalties thus far, hit the woodwork twice. Moving forward, averaging possession for Boro, 56.2%, with 5 clean sheets. As for Rovers, 48.7% possession, 5 clean sheets as well. The duels won by the Boro, 51% compared to Rovers, also 51%. They've had 1 red card, 2. Wow, wow, wee, wow. That's, of course, the tail of the tape, of course, when you look at the numbers, breaking them down. But let's take a look then at possession stats then for Boro. When in possession, they prefer the right to the left, and, of course, all more often than not found in midfield. But if you want to break it down further, 33% of all possession is in the attacking third. Rovers, though, on the flip side, they also prefer the right to the left, but only just. But they've found more often than not, well, of course, in midfield the most, but more often than not in the defence than in attack. When they, of course, firing the trigger, Boro prefer again the right to the left, and again 64% of their shots in the 18-yard area. Rovers prefer to take a shot from the left and the right, and again 56% of the shots are in that 18-yard box. When, of course, they're receiving shots, they're more likely to come from the left-hand side than the right, and 32% long-range cookies. Rovers, though, again more often than not, the shots are coming from the left-hand side, and just 7% are in that 6-yard area. Let's take a look at the goals then, how they've been scored for both Rovers and Boro. 16 goals through open play, 6 set pieces, 3 counter-attacks, 3 penalties, and 1 own goal. Rovers, though, no penalties, no own goals thus far. 13 goals through open play, 3 set pieces, and 3 counter-attacks. Goals conceded by the Boro, 11 through open play, 4 set pieces, 2 counter-attacks, and 2 OGs. Rovers, 11 open play, 4 set pieces, and 2 penalties. This is the rub of the green so far for them over the last 6 matches. Middlesbrough coming at you, like I said, scoring 15 goals, and they've actually scored 10 on the road. It's at home, has been as spicy. A 1-1 lost, 1 drawn over the last 3. So that's something that Rovers can maybe get a grip of. On the flip side, though, Rovers' form has been woeful, with only a win last time around. It's Cardiff to break that hoodoo, and of course went into the international break with 3 points, which was massive. Take a look at it. The last 6 then for Boro at home, and it is okay reading for Rovers. They're not that amazing at home, with 3 wins and 3 wins of the last 6. As for Rovers on the road, though, just 1 win in all season on the road, but it was a big one. It was against Cardiff, who of course have been sticky opponents of late. So it was. Let's give us credit where credit is due. Now that's of course the state of play right here as of right now. What about the state of play moving forward for both these 2 clubs? Boro will take on Hull this coming weekend on the 30th at an early kickoff. Meanwhile, they'll take on Burnley next into the month of December there. Then it's Leeds, a spicy one, Millwall, and then before the old Christmas hoedown there, they'll take on Plymouth Argyle. Rovers on the flip side will be taking on Leeds this coming weekend at Ewood Park. Hull next on the following weekend. Then it's Sheffield Wednesday, Luton, and then Millwall. It does look a little bit better games-wise, mentally. If we can get something out of this game against Boro, and then maybe, I don't know, a home game against the Leeds could be a cracking game. We'll see about that. So that's the state of play. That's a bit of a rundown of this match. But what can we expect from this game then, shall we? Let's take a little look at it. Of course, Middlesbrough's strengths are counter-attacks, creating trust through individual skill, scoring chances, and attacking down the wings with set pieces and scoring chances. Their also strengths are defending set pieces. Rovers' strengths, though, counter-attacks, long shot opportunities, aerial duels, and protecting the lead. We also like to steal the ball from the opposition. However, our weaknesses are defending against skillful players. Boro picking up their weaknesses offsides, protecting the lead, aerial duels, and avoiding individual errors. Style of play, though, for Boro, controlling the game in the opposition half, attacking down the middle and down the right. Possession football, a lot of short passes, a lot of through balls, and plenty of shots. They're very non-aggressive. They like their opponents to play aggressively against them, and they do play the offside trap. Rovers, though, their style of play is through balls, playing in their own half, and can have a consistent first 11, but also be very aggressive. The forecast says Middlesbrough will score as a result of individual skill. Rovers will dominate the air. Boro will control the game in the opposition half. Rovers will be shown a high number of cards, and Middlesbrough will dominate possession. What about the table? Well, the table looks a little bit like this as of right now. Boro are in a 5th place spot right now. It could go as high as 4th. Rovers are in 9th. Could go as high as 8th, with a wind going their way. Of course, on the opposite end of the spectrum, Rovers could go down to 13th, maybe even more than that, depending on goal difference. It could go all the way down to 15th. Boro could drop out the side of the playoffs, depending on what goes on around the ground. Speaking of around the grounds, these are the rest of the games. I'll show them in a minute. But this is the state of play of how the season has transpired for Boro and Rovers. Rovers are the blue, Middlesbrough are the green. It's been a great start for Rovers, but of course now slowly falling out of the playoffs down to 10th. Maybe a little bit of a response from that Cardiff victory. Boro started off okay and have been pretty much steady eddies in and around the playoffs throughout the season, but dropping as low as maybe 11th there for the Boro. Rovers responding from their recent swell of poor results. These are the games that are going to take place both today and tomorrow. Starting with today's games at Carrow Road, we have Norwich against Plymouth, Hull against Sheffield Wednesday, Watford against Bristol City, Sheffield United against Oxford, Burnley against Coventry, Stoke against Preston, and Sunderland against West Brom. And then we complete the Championship predictions or games. We have Cardiff against QPR, Portsmouth against Millwall, Leeds against Luton, Derby against Swansea. But the game of the day will be at the Riverside, and it'll be Rovers going to Middlesbrough. So those are, of course, the games. And of course, what about the current top goal scorer as well? The man at the moment is Saints, coming at you out of Norwich with 11 goals. Josh Major up there with 10. Haji Wright with 7. Lati Laff of Boro up there with 7 as well. Bayo, Cannon, Perot, Conway, Isador, and Aziz up there for Boro as well. As for the assists, Aziz tops the charts there with 7 assists. Assists from Aziz. No Rovers player in sight, which may be a concern for us. So, it all boils down to this, folks. What is my gut prediction for this game? Well, it ain't going to be easy. We're playing them at probably a wrong time. However, Middlesbrough did come on the back of a game on the weekend. Rovers did have an extended time out. Is that going to cause problems in the legs? Or will Rovers come out this fresh as a daisy? Of course, a big game coming at you as well on the weekend for Rovers. So it's not like it's not going to work in our favour long term, but it could prove to be the difference maker. Also, the fact that we've got a good track record against Boro also leads into us against Middlesbrough's hot form and goal scoring exploits. So if I'm going to go with my gut, and my gut ain't going to be that good because I've been eating a lot of shit, picked up a Lenovo virus over in England, so my gut ain't good right now. My gut isn't good. This prediction is going to be a little bit ropey, but I am. Yes, I am. I do believe that Rovers will grind something out of it. It's not going to be one of the better displays, but probably going to be on the back foot. And of course, we might even be chasing the game for about 85 minutes. So I think I'm going to go with a Rovers draw here. Yes, boring, vanilla, 1-1 draw. But to be honest with you, that would be a fucking fantastic result for Rovers. When you think about how Middlesbrough have been playing, the amount of goals that they've been scoring, and of course the state of play for Rovers at the moment and what's of course to come. Anyway, that's my prediction. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. We go again, guys. Of course, after this, of course, it will steamroll into the next one, which will be Leeds for the weekend. But until then, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now. I'm out.